Good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss the topic Compton scattering or Compton effect. Now, as we all know that gamma rays interact with matter through three different processes. What are those three different processes? Gamma rays, what are gamma rays? Electromagnetic radiations of short wavelength. So gamma rays interact with matter through three different processes. Number one, photoelectric effect. Number two, Compton scattering. Number three, pair production. So these are the three ways by which gamma rays interact with matter. Today we are going to discuss the topic photoelectric effect. Let me just give you a brief review in 2-3 lines. What is photoelectric effect? Because then we will be able to understand the quantum scattering better. Photoelectric effect में what happens? A photon interacts with an electron and it gives its entire energy to the electron. Remember what are gamma rays, students? Gamma rays are nothing but the electromagnetic radiations of short wavelength. And what are electromagnetic radiations? They are nothing but they consist of photons, right? So photoelectric effect में क्या होता है कि एक फोटोन अपनी सारी एनर्जी जब वो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन के साथ इंटरेक्ट करता है तो उस इलेक्ट्रॉन को ट्रांसफर कर देता है, राइट? बट देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट व्हेन अ फोटोन इंटरेक्ट्स विद एन इलेक्ट्रॉन, एक फोटोन जब इंटरेक्ट करे एक इलेक्ट्रॉन के साथ, then instead of transferring its entire energy to the electron, the photon may transfer a part of its energy to the electron and it itself gets scattered in another direction. मतलब इस केस में फोटोइलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट में फोटोन ने इलेक्ट्रॉन के साथ इंटरेक्ट किया और अपनी सारी एनर्जी इलेक्ट्रॉन को ट्रांसफर कर दी और फोटोन एनिहिलेट हो गया उस प्रोसेस में. बट इन दिस केस, in Compton scattering, what happens? When a photon interacts with an electron, it loses only a part of its energy to the electron. और वो खुद फोटोन दूसरी डायरेक्शन में स्कैटर हो जाता है. So basically, in another way, we can perceive this interaction, Compton scattering, as a collision process between a photon and an electron. जब दो बॉल्स के बीच में फोटोन कोलिजन होता है, क्या होता है? आपने एक बॉल को एक दूसरी स्टेशनरी बॉल है उसके ऊपर हिट किया, व्हाट हैपेंस? बोथ द बॉल्स गेट स्कैटर्ड इन डिफरेंट डायरेक्शंस, राइट? जो बॉल स्टेशनरी थी उसको कुछ मोमेंटम मिल जाता है, द इनकमिंग बॉल imparts a certain momentum and kinetic energy to the ball at rest and both get scattered in different directions. So similar way you can interpret this process, Compton scattering, that a photon when interacts with an electron, it is basically a collision process between a photon and an electron, and a photon loses a part of its energy or gives a part of its energy to the electron and the both get scattered in different directions, right? So remember, in this case, Compton assumed that the electron in the scatter to be a free electron. What does that mean? That means that कि इलेक्ट्रॉन की जो बाइंडिंग एनर्जी थी, electrons are definitely inside the atoms, so they have a binding energy. So he considered कि इलेक्ट्रॉन की जो बाइंडिंग एनर्जी थी, that is very small compared to the energy of the photon. So you can treat the electrons to be as free electrons, as if they are not binded to the atom, right? Because their energy was too less compared to the energy of the photon. So the electron were treated as free electrons. In many books you will read this word free electrons. So this is the meaning of free electron. So in how can we define Compton effect? The scattering of a photon by an electron is known as Compton effect. The scattering of a photon by an electron is known as Compton effect. You call it Compton effect, you call it Compton scattering, both are one and the same thing. Remember, whenever there is a collision process or any event like this, then energy and momentums are always conserved in such an event. So this is again and again we are saying it is like a collision between a photon and electron. So energy and momentum are conserved. Energy and momentum are conserved in this event. Fine. And we are saying that the photon loses a part of its energy to the electron. So loss in energy of photon will become the kinetic energy gained by the electron. We assume that initially the electron to be at rest. So photon will give some of its energy to the electron and the electron will get recoiled or scattered in some direction. So the loss in energy of photon becomes the kinetic energy gained by the electron. That means loss in photons energy equals to the kinetic energy gained by the electron. Kinetic energy नो फोटोन की एनर्जी कितनी होती है h nu is the photon energy. Okay, इसको we will find this formula later on. First let us go into, so what is our aim in this case? Naturally, if the energy of the scattered photon now is less than the energy of the incident photon, so there would be a change in wavelength of the photon also. If we say that lambda is the wavelength of the photon initially and lambda dash is the wavelength of the scattered photon, then what we are going to proceed is, our aim is to find out the change in wavelength of the photon as a measure of angle of scattering, right? Another way of defining the Compton effect is that the effect of change in wavelength on scattering is called Compton effect. The effect of change in wavelength on scattering this is another way of defining. Now let us define certain parameters first. Let us define certain parameters. Let lambda dash be the wavelength of incident and scattered photon. Respectively. That means lambda is the wavelength of the incident photon, lambda dash is the wavelength of the scattered photon. Fine. Let nu and nu dash be the frequency of incident and the scattered photon. Nu is the frequency of incident photon and nu dash is the frequency of scattered photon. Right? Let m naught be the mass of the electron. That means rest mass of electron. Because we are initially assuming that the electron is at rest. Now, when the incident photon falls on the electron, it gives a certain energy to it. So, it starts moving with the velocity. Right? Let v be the velocity of the electron. Velocity of required electron. Right? We all know h is a Planck's constant. Now, these are the parameters we are going to use throughout our derivation. Now, what is our aim, students? As we know, lambda is the wavelength of incident photon, lambda dash is the wavelength of the scattered photon, and let phi be the angle of scattering. Let's try. If phi is the angle of scattering, then what is our aim in this experiment? What we are now going to find out is change in wavelength of photon as an angle of scattering. As a function of scattering angle phi. What is the change in wavelength of photon? Lambda dash minus lambda. This is the change in wavelength. Right? So we have to find out the relation between and phi. This is our aim. This is what we are going to do and this is how we are going to proceed. हमें लैम्डा डैश माइनस लैम्डा और फाई के बीच का रिलेशन डिराइव करना है. ओके स्टूडेंट, नाउ लेट अस फर्स्ट मेक द डायग्राम. Remember, we should be clear. If we are clear about what we are going to, what is our aim and what we are going to derive, students' derivation always becomes easier. This is our incident photon. Right? This is our target electron or the electron at rest. This is our scattered photon. And this is our recoiled electron or scattered electron, whatever you want to say. It is our recoiled electron. Right? This photon, incident photon, is incident on this target electron, which is initially at rest. The electron gets scattered in this direction, and you see what is the angle of scattering with the incident direction? It is phi. Right? The electron gets recoiled in this direction, and the angle of scattering of the electron is theta. Now, whenever we make a derivation, we always apply the law of conservation of energy and momentum. So for that, we need the initial and final energies of all the initial and final particles. Now let us see. This is our incident photon. What is the energy of a photon? Energy of a photon is h nu. We are saying that nu is the initial frequency of the photon. So incident photon की energy क्या हो गई? h nu. This is the energy of the incident photon. And what is the momentum of a photon? Momentum of a photon is given by the formula. Momentum of photon is equals to h upon wavelength. Right? This is the formula for the momentum of a photon. Now, what is the wavelength of incident photon? Lambda. We have just characterized all the parameters. So, momentum of initial photon or incident photon क्या हो गया? H upon lambda. So, P is equal to H upon lambda. So, these are the initial energy and momentum of the incident photon. Now, let us move on to the target electron. What is the momentum of the target electron? Momentum of the target electron is 0 because we are considering the electron to be at rest. Right? So if it is at rest, momentum of a particle is given by mv. So its momentum is 0. So P is equal to 0 for target electron. And what is the energy of the electron? It has a rest mass m naught. So its energy is given as, we can write here, E is equal to m naught c square. Because target electron has a rest mass, so its energy is m naught c square. So now we have defined the initial momentum and initial energies of the initial particles. Remember, what are the initial particles? Incident photon and target electrons are the incident particles. Scattered photon and recoiled electron are the final particles. Fine. Now let us see what would be the energy of the scattered photon. Scattered photon has a frequency nu dash. So therefore the energy of the scattered photon is E is equal to h nu dash. Right? And what is the momentum of the scattered photon? What is the wavelength of scattered photon? Lambda dash. So therefore momentum of the scattered photon is h upon lambda dash. Right? Now let us move on to the recoiled electron. What is the momentum of the recoiled electron? We said that electron has a velocity v after it gets scattered. So its momentum is mv. And what is the total energy of any particle? It is given by E is equal to mc square. Right? So this is the total energy of the particle. जबकि mc square किसके इक्वल होता है? It is equal to under root of m naught square c4 plus p square c square. Right? In this case, it was only m naught c square because p was 0 there. For target electron, p is 0. So this formula of E will get reduced to m naught c square, which we have written here. Right? While in our derivation, we will using this short formula only, but I just wanted to tell you that why in the case of target electron, the energy is m naught c square. It is because P is 0 for the target electron. Now, what we see? Now, we all know that energy is a scalar quantity, so it does not have any components, but we know momentum is a vector quantity. So, whenever we consider the conservation of momentum, always remember, student, momentum must be conserved in each of the mutually perpendicular directions, right? Momentum here is a vector quantity, so it will have a x component, it will have a y component. So when we see the conservation, we have to see the conservation of momentum in x direction and conservation of momentum in y direction separately. Now if we want to do that, we must know what are the components of momentum in x direction and what are the components of momentum in y direction, right? For that, let us divide the component in x and y direction. Correlate with this figure. I am just simplifying this figure. This diagram I am making just as it is. Right? Just I have made it as it is. This is your target electron. Right? This is your scattered photon का momentum लिखा हमने h by lambda dash. Angle of scattering is phi. This is required electron momentum mv. Angle of scattering is theta, because we need to know both the x and y component. Now, when I convert the x and y component, h by lambda dash, and this angle of scattering is phi, then what would be the x component of this momentum? H by lambda dash cos phi, right? And in this direction. Okay, this will be the x component, h by lambda dash cos phi. And in y direction, what would be the component? H by lambda dash sin phi, right? We have just divided the component in x and y parts for the scattered photon. This is your scattered photon. Now this is your recoiled electron. What would be its component in the x direction? mv cos theta. So its component in this direction again would be mv cos theta. And what would be its component in y direction? mv sin theta. Now remember here, the first thing which you must note in this case is, for scattered photon, the direction of y component would be upwards, but for electron, the direction of y component would be downwards, right? Because it is moving in this direction. So it will have two components. So while applying the law of conservation of energy and momentum, we must take into account the signs. And this was our direction, initial direction. You can correlate the two diagrams very well. I hope this is clear to all how we have divided the x and y component of momentum of the scattered photon and the recoiled electron. Now let us start our derivation. First, we will apply the law of conservation of momentum. When we apply the law of conservation of momentum, what it says that, any conservation law says that initial should be equal to final. That means initial momentum must be equal to final momentum. This is the meaning of conservation of momentum or anything. I have told you again and again, the initial particles are incident photon and the target electron, and the final particles are scattered photon and the recoiled electron. but it is, we are applying the momentum. Again, it is a vector quantity, so we will have to see the x and y parts separately. So let us apply to the x component to the of momentum. So for x component of momentum, what is the initial momentum for x component of momentum? अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर होल्ड कर दूं तो यहाँ पर इनिशियल मोमेंटम क्या है, h बाई लैम्डा, राइट, और इसका मोमेंटम क्या है, p is equal to 0 and this is p is equal to this, right? If I slightly to make you understand better. Now, what is the initial momentum? Initial momentum would be the sum of the momentum of the scattered incident photon and target electron. Incident photon का momentum कितना है, x direction में. Remember, we are only considering x direction. So this is our x direction, right? Students, this is our x direction. तो x direction में initial momentum कितना होगा, h by lambda plus 0. Right? This is our initial momentum in x direction. What is our final momentum in x direction? X direction, h by lambda dash cos phi plus mv cos theta. This is x direction. Right? This is our x component of momentum. From here, let us just simplify. mv cos theta would be equal to h by lambda minus h by lambda dash cos phi, right? Squaring m square v square cos square theta would be equal to let us name it as 1. Let us label it as 1. Right? So this equation we got from the by applying the law of conservation of momentum to the x component. Now let us apply the law of conservation of momentum to the y component. Now let us apply the law of conservation of momentum to the for y component of momentum. Again, for y component of momentum, initial momentum should be to final momentum. What is the initial momentum in y direction? You can see it from here, this diagram, student. There is no initial momentum in the y direction, right? Because this is at rest and this incident photon is traveling in the x direction only. So there is no component of momentum in the y direction. So initial momentum in y direction is 0. Right? What is the final momentum in y direction? This is in y direction, this is in y direction, but both are in opposite direction. So what is the final momentum in y direction? It is h by lambda dash sin phi minus mv sin theta. This minus sign is because both are in opposite directions. Right? Now, simplifying it, this implies mv sin theta is equal to h by lambda dash sin phi squaring m square v square sin square phi theta is equal to h by lambda dash sin square phi. This is our equation number 2. right? Now we will add 1 and 2. Let us see what we get if we add 1 and 2. No, we don't need this diagram. So let me erase this diagram. Now adding 1 and 2, adding equation 1 and 2, we get m square v square cos square theta plus m square v square sin square theta equal to right. This is what we got by adding 1 and 2. Let us just simplify. We take m square v square common out, then cos square theta plus sin square theta will become 1. So I can straightway write m square v square equals to, opening this square, we will get h square lambda square plus h square lambda dash square cos square 5 minus 2h square lambda lambda dash cos 5 plus h upon lambda dash sin square 5. We have just opened it. We have not done anything else. Taking m square v square common, bracket में you will get cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is 1. Thus straightway written m square v square. And when you will open this, you will get this. Now again, in this, we can combine these two terms. Sorry, this would be h square lambda dash square. Correct it. It is h square lambda dash square. Right? So when you will add, take h square lambda dash square common in these two terms, again sin square 5 plus cos square 5 is 1. So finally we will get m square v square is equal to h square lambda square plus h square lambda dash square minus 2h square. Right, students? So this is our final equation which we have got by applying the law of conservation of momentum in both x and y direction. Right? Right? Now, what we will do from here? If we apply relativistic expressions, right, then from theory of relativity, we know that what is mass equals to from theory of relativity, we all are aware that mass m is equal to m naught 1 minus v square by c square. Right? Here remember where mass is the v is the velocity of the particle, and we consider that it has a considerable velocity compared to the velocity of light. Now, if I just try to find out value of m square v square from this formula, what I will get just by simplifying, this implies m square is equal to m naught square divided by 1 minus v square by c square. Right? Yes, you can simplify it here. It is very simple. This will give you m square is equal to m naught square c square divided by c square minus v square, right? Or when you will just simplify it, you will get m square v square is equal to c square you will get this. We will get m square v square. We need m square v square. Just by simplifying, we will get m square v square equals to c square m square minus m naught square from this. Now putting this in 3, we will finally get put in 3, we finally get c square m square minus m naught square m square v square की हम वैल्यू पुट कर रहे हैं. This is our equation 4. Now students, let us apply the law of conservation of energy. From law of conservation of energy, what again it says? Initial energy must be equal to final energy. Right? Now again we are saying that energy is a scalar quantity. Then what is the initial energy? Look at this diagram again. Initial energy is the sum of total of energy of the incident photon and the target electron. इंसिडेंट फोटोन की एनर्जी क्या है h nu प्लस टारगेट इलेक्ट्रॉन की एनर्जी क्या है m naught c square. What is your final energy? Scattered photon has an energy h nu dash and the energy of recoiled electron is mc square. Since we are dealing with lambda everywhere, so instead of nu we will use the formula lambda. So nu is equal to c by lambda and nu dash is equal to c by lambda dash. This is how wavelength and frequencies are related to each other. So putting these we will get so what we have to do. From here, from this equation of law of conservation of energy, we will find out this expression. C square bracket m square minus m naught square. From this equation, we will find that and then we will equate the two equations and finally we will get our answer. So, if I just simplify it from here, mc square would be equal to m naught c square plus hc by lambda minus hc by lambda dash. If I divide it by c square, it will become पूरी इक्वेशन को डिवाइड कर दिया हमने, मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया 1 by c square से और डिवाइड कर दिया तो we will get m is equal to m naught c square will cancel out and this CC will cancel out and you will get one C in the lower end. Or just simplifying, you will get M is equal to this is what we get. Now squaring this equation, what will you get? I've just taken H by C common out from here. Fine. If you square it, what will you get? Take it as A, consider it as A and consider this whole as B. So A square plus B square plus 2AB. Right? Square करेंगे तो M square would be equal to M naught square plus H square C square. B square हो गई A square plus B square plus 2AB मतलब 2M naught. Right? Squaring, you will straight away get this A square plus this B whole square plus 2AB. You will get this. Next line, if I take it M naught square here, we will get M square minus M naught square will be equal to. Now I open this bracket also. It will give you 1 by lambda square plus 1 by lambda dash square minus 2 upon lambda dash plus 2 M naught H by C lambda dash minus lambda upon lambda dash. This is just by simplifying. Now I have opened this bracket and I have taken LCM here. You will get this. Multiplied by C square, we will finally get C square M naught multiply by C square. This C square will cancel. So it will become H square by lambda square plus H square by lambda dash square. Taking this H square inside and this C square will get cancelled. We will multiply it by C square. Minus 2H square lambda dash plus when you will multiply it by C square, the C will cancel out and you will get one C on the numerator. So this is our equation number 5, which we have got by solving the law of conservation of energy. This 4 we have obtained from law of conservation of momentum, and 5 we have obtained from the law of conservation of energy. Now, looking at these two equations, you can clearly see that the right hand side are same, so we can equate the two equations. Now, equating the two equations, that means इसकी value ये आप यहाँ put कर दीजिए. So, equating the two equations, what you will get? Equating 4 and 5, we get right? By equating 4 and 5, we get this equation. Now you see, The first two terms will cancel out on both the sides. So we are left with both these two terms will cancel out. So we are finally left with, we can cancel out lambda, lambda dash, lambda, lambda dash. Like first we let us cancel out these two terms. You will see we get 2h square. So we got this equation. We can cancel out 2, 2, 2. We can cancel out lambda, lambda dash in the denominator. We are left with, I'm moving slowly, I'm not cancelling out all the things at one time so that you can understand it better. We are only cancelling out 2 and lambda, lambda dash. Okay, so what we are left is, now we can again cancel h from this. We will get multiplied by 1 by h square. You will get minus cos phi is equal to minus 1 plus m naught c upon h lambda dash minus lambda. So this implies this is our final result. This equation gives the change in wavelength of photon. This equation is the final equation of Compton effect. Remember, look at this. This gives the change in wavelength of photon. This is a lambda dash minus lambda is the change in wavelength of photon when it is scattered by an angle phi by a particle or an electron of rest mass m naught. This is our final answer. So, equation provides change in wavelength of photon when scattered by an when scattered through an angle phi by an electron of rest mass m naught. Right? Gives the change in wavelength of photon scattered by an angle phi by an electron of rest mass m naught. So this is our final equation. I hope student this derivation is absolutely clear to all of you. There is no ambiguity or anything. Remember, lambda dash minus lambda is the change in wavelength. So it is also written lambda dash minus lambda is also written as del lambda, change in wavelength. Right? So we can also write del lambda is equal to h upon m naught c 1 minus cos phi. This is another way of writing the change in wavelength. Del lambda is equal to h upon m naught c 1 minus cos phi. Now, from this expression, there are certain findings which we can do, or very important observations which we can make from this. Number one, what we see from this expression is that the change in wavelength is independent of the initial wavelength of the photon. You see this impression. This is the change in wavelength. It depends only upon h m naught c 1 minus cos phi. So change in is on left hand side, nowhere you have lambda. So change in wavelength is independent of the initial wavelength of the photon. So what are our observations? Number one, change in wavelength, del lambda I am writing, change in wavelength is independent of wavelength of incident photon. Second observations आप क्या कर सकते हैं students? Second observation we can make that on what change in wavelength is dependent. H is a constant quantity, m naught is a constant quantity, c is a constant quantity. Only variable quantity is in this is phi, the angle of scattering. So change in wavelength is dependent only on the angle of scattering. It is independent of any other parameter because all the other parameters are constant in this. So change in wavelength is dependent only on the angle of scattering. Right? It is H is constant, M naught is constant, C is constant. And this quantity, H upon M naught C, is called Compton wavelength. Right? It is known as the Compton wavelength. It is given a special name. H upon M naught C is equal to Compton wavelength, which equals to lambda C. Lambda C means Compton wavelength. So H upon lambda C is known as Compton wavelength. So you can find out the value of Compton wavelength also. We know the value of H, we know the value of M naught, which is the mass, rest mass of the electron. We know the value of C. Right? So if I find out the value of the Compton wavelength, lambda C, which is equal to H upon M naught C. What is the value of H? H is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. What is the mass? M naught of electron 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. And what is velocity of light? 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. When you will solve it, it will come out to be 2.426 into 10 raised to the power minus 12 meter. So this is the value of the Compton wavelength, or I can write it in short as 2.426 picometer. So this is the value of Compton wavelength, which is a standard value because students, it is dependent only on the constant. So another way of writing the Compton effect is that this implies you can also write del lambda is equal to lambda C 1 minus cos phi in your competitive exams or somewhere you get these simple questions. Lambda c value, you know, phi will be given to you and you will be only asked the value of change in wavelength. So you can see how it is easy it is, because lambda c की वैल्यू आपको मालूम है तो फाइनल एक्सप्रेशन आप इसका ये लिख सकते हैं. This is again another expression of change in wavelength. Now, can any student tell me how we can define, students, Compton wavelength? Looking at this formula, can we define Compton wavelength? Compton wavelength can be defined as, suppose when the angle of scattering is phi is 90 degree, then what would be your cos phi? When your angle of scattering is 90 degree, yes students, so how can I define the Compton wavelength? When my angle of scattering phi is equal to 90 degree, then what would be cos phi? 0, which implies del lambda would be equal to lambda c. So that means I can define Compton wavelength as, it is the change in wavelength of the photon when the angle of scattering is 90 degree. So Compton wavelength is the change in wavelength of photon when angle of scattering is 90 degree. Right? In your exams, you will simply get this question. In your competitive exams, this question comes like it. The Compton wavelength will be the change in wavelength of the photon when the angle of scattering is, and you will be given 4 options. 0 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree. So if you know this formula, then you can easily find out what would be the change in wavelength, what would be the value of the Compton wavelength. This type of questions comes in your exams. Now I ask you a simple question. When will be the change in wavelength maximum? Think about it and then answer. My question is, when will be the change in wavelength maximum? This is my question. Remember, Compton effect basically also provides a support to the particle nature of photons, because we are considering it to be as a collision between a photon and an electron. So basically, it provides an evidence, or it supports the theory that photons have a particle nature. Yes, students, when will be the change in wavelength maximum? I hope the derivation is clear to all of you.
Ma'am,
when
at
phi equals to
angle phi,
phi.
When phi is equals to 180 degrees.
Anybody else? Any other student? Garima has
Yes,
answered.
ma'am phi is equals to जब pi होगा.
Okay, Mansi has also answered the same. Any other student?
मैम phi is equal to जब pi होगा.
Okay. Anybody else? Ayush?
Yes, ma'am. Scattering angle is 180 degree होगा, ma'am. 180 degree.
Very good. All of you, excellent answer. Because what we have seen, change in wavelength is equal to h upon m naught c 1 minus cos phi. So when phi is equal to pi, what will happen? This will imply your cos phi would be minus 1. Right? When phi would be pi, cos phi would be minus 1. So this will imply del lambda would be equal to 2h upon m naught c. So this is again a question which comes in your competitive exam. What is the maximum value of the change in wavelength? So students, you see that the maximum value of change in wavelength is twice the Compton wavelength. Right? Is that clear? So maximum value of the wavelength is twice the value of the Compton wavelength. This question comes like this. What is the value of maximum change in wavelength? नीचे आपको लिखा होगा lambda c, 2 lambda c, 3 lambda c, 4 lambda c. So you have to just take 2 lambda c. So the maximum change in wavelength is twice the Compton wavelength. And remember, कभी-कभी इसकी values भी आ जाती हैं नीचे twice lambda c की जगह. So we know lambda c is 2.426. So multiplying, you will get it as 4.852. So now you know all the parameters, you know all the things, you can easily calculate everything. Yes, student, I hope the topic of Compton scattering is absolutely clear to you. This is a very important topic from the point of understanding the interaction of gamma rays with matter. Yes, student, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Derivation is absolutely clear and all the observations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
one
ma'am.
more thing I would like to say is that remember everywhere I am using the word change in wavelength is independent of incident wavelength. But sometimes in your exams you get a question to find out the wavelength of the scattered photon. Remember, we have found the formula lambda dash is equal minus lambda is equal to del lambda is equal to. This is the formula we have found. But अगर यहाँ से this implies lambda dash is equal to this. Generally, students get confused in this. When I am again saying del lambda change in wavelength is independent of the incident wavelength. But the wavelength of the scattered photon is dependent on the wavelength of the incident photon. Right? Wavelength of scattered photon is dependent on wavelength of incident photon. जब आप इस lambda को उधर ले जाएंगे, because आपके एग्जाम्स में कई बार आपको न्यूमेरिकल्स में ये बहुत ट्रिकी सा आ जाता है, बच्चे कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. बेटा स्टूडेंट, del lambda is dependent only on phi, but lambda dash is not dependent only on phi. Lambda dash is dependent on lambda and phi. Right? Now let me first take the attendance, then we will do certain numericals on this. Today is 8th. All the students do Ashish Bhati, Abdul Tawfiq, Abhishek Sharma.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Akhil, Amman, Amit. Okay. Anshika, Apurva, Ashish, Ayush.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ओके आयुष, बेटा आए लिखते जाइए सारे चैट बॉक्स में. धीरज, दिनेश, दुष्यंत,
Yes, ma'am.
एकता, गरिमा,
Present, ma'am.
गौरव, गुलशन, हर्षित, हिमानी, ज्योति, ज्योति,
Present, ma'am.
के मनीष, मानसी,
Present, ma'am.
okay, Mansi is present. Meenu,
Present, ma'am.
okay. Neha, okay, Neha is present. Nitesh, Nitesh, Piyush,
Yes, ma'am.
Piyush is there?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes, yes. Pooja, Pooja, okay,
Present, ma'am.
Pooja is there. Pradeep,
Present, ma'am.
okay. Prakash, Prashant, Rachit, Rahul, Raju, Soumya, Saurav, Shalu, Shankuk, Shubh, Shubda,
Present, ma'am.
सिद्धांत, सौरभ, सुमित, तुषार, उत्कर्ष, विकास, विक्रांत, यश, यतिन. Okay, Gulshan is also present. Gulshan. Okay. Students, do fill in the feedback form. बेटा बहुत ही कम. Nitish has joined. Yes, who has joined? Nitish. Nitish, take your attendance, beta. Write I in the chat box. और ये कुछ और बच्चों ने भी लिखा. ओके नीतीश, आपकी अटेंडेंस लग गई है बेटा. यू हैव रिटन आई इन द चैट बॉक्स. नीतीश की लग गई है अटेंडेंस. गौरव गोयल. Okay, students, fine. So, I hope this topic is absolutely clear to you. Remember, आपको different book में derivation जो है बेटा थोड़ी बहुत ही complicated or you may find it tough. That is why I have not omitted even a single step of the derivation. Right? I have done it step by step, and this is the very simplest way this derivation can be done. Now, I would like to ask a simple question, students. Can any one of you explain me why I have made this diagram like this? बेटा मेरी ड्राइंग जो है वो ठीक ठाक है. माई ड्राइंग इज नॉट सो बैड कि मैं यहाँ पर फोटोन ऐसे दिखाऊं और यहाँ पर फोटोन ऐसे दिखाऊं. Can any one of you tell me why I have shown incident photon light? Incident मैंने ऐसे दिखाया है और scattered मैंने ऐसे दिखाया है. This is incident photon I have shown like this, and this is scattered photon I have shown. Can any one of you tell why I have shown it this way? Yes, Shubda.
मैम क्योंकि दोनों में मैम वेवलेंथ डिफरेंट है.
Good. At least you picked up the first difference. Now the next question is why it is different. Yes, मानसी, गरिमा, बाकी सारे बच्चे भाई.
मैम क्योंकि एनर्जी लॉस हुआ है.
ओके. तो एनर्जी तो लॉस हुआ है. First of all, very good, Shubha. Excellent. What is wavelength? This is known as wavelength. One wavelength. यहाँ पर this is wavelength.
जो है
Yes.
मैम जो एनर्जी है वो वेवलेंथ के इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल होती है.
Absolutely great. Very nice. Yes, student. All other students listen. Anybody wants to say something? Okay. Because this is a wavelength here, this is a wavelength here. That means the scattered photon has more wavelength than the incident photon. This is the meaning. ये wavelength ज़्यादा है, ये कम है. That which implies lambda dash is more than lambda. That means scattered photon has wavelength more than incident photon. Right? Scattered photon has wavelength more than incident photon. Great. But why it is so? Because what we are saying कि इंसिडेंट फोटोन अपनी कुछ एनर्जी टारगेट इलेक्ट्रॉन को दे देता है. इंसिडेंट फोटोन की एनर्जी क्या थी? एच न्यू. स्कैटर्ड फोटोन की एनर्जी क्या है? एच न्यू डैश. इसकी एनर्जी है एच न्यू, इसकी एनर्जी है एच न्यू डैश. तो दैट मींस इसने कुछ एनर्जी इलेक्ट्रॉन को दे दी, which means h nu dash is less than h nu. Scattered photon की एनर्जी जो है वो इंसिडेंट फोटोन एनर्जी से कम है. What does this imply? Nu dash is less than nu. What does this imply? Nu dash इसके बराबर c by lambda dash is less than c by lambda. Nu dash is c by lambda dash, nu is c by lambda. So this implies 1 by lambda dash is less than 1 by lambda. c से c cancel out हो गया. Or which implies finally lambda dash is more than lambda. Right? और physically इसका straight way answer है, which Shubha has given it very right, that since it has lost some energy to this, so its energy is less, so wavelength is more, because energy and wavelength, frequency and wavelength, or energy or wavelength, whatever we can say, are inversely proportional to each other. So the last thing in this is what is the कभी-कभी न्यूमेरिकल इस पे याद आता है. रिमेंबर बेटा, ये भी आपका डे टू डे आपके कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में क्वेश्चन आता है कि इंसिडेंट फोटोन की वेवलेंथ ज्यादा होगी या स्कैटर्ड फोटोन की वेवलेंथ ज्यादा होगी. तो स्टूडेंट समटाइम्स दे मेक दिस सिली मिस्टेक कि इंसिडेंट की एनर्जी ज्यादा है तो इंसिडेंट की वेवलेंथ भी ज्यादा होगी. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज स्पेसिफिकली आई हैव डिपिक्टेड दिस वे. आई हैव शोन द वेवलेंथ ऑफ द scattered photon to be more. It has been shown like this deliberately because it is actually what happens. So the last thing, what is the kinetic energy of the electron? Remember, kinetic energy of the electron is the energy lost by the photon. It equals to nothing but the energy lost by the photon. So kinetic energy is nothing but equals to h nu minus h nu dash. H nu is the initial energy of photon. H nu dash is the final energy of the photon. So the energy lost becomes the kinetic energy of the electron. Now I am thoroughly complete with this topic of Compton scattering. Now student is open for you to any questions, anything you want to discuss or anything in derivation or any you did not understand. Okay बेटा सबको सब समझ में आ गया. That means I take it is understood, clear to all of you. So note down the problem then. X-rays of wavelength 10 picometer X-rays of wavelength 10 picometer are scattered from a target. X-rays of wavelength 10 picometer are scattered from a target. Now you have to find out three things. A, find the wavelength of the X-rays. Find the wavelength of the X-rays scattered through 45 degree. Find the wavelength of the X-rays scattered through 45 degree. X-rays are also nothing but electromagnetic radiations. Number 2, B. Find the maximum wavelength present. Find the maximum wavelength present in the scattered X-ray. Find the maximum wavelength present in the scattered X-ray. C. Find the maximum kinetic energy of the recoil electron. Find the maximum kinetic energy of the recoiled electron. I am repeating the question. X-rays of wavelength 10 picometer are scattered from a target. A. Find the wavelength of the X-ray scattered through 45 degree. B. Find the maximum wavelength present in the scattered X-ray. C. Find the maximum kinetic energy of the recoiled electron. I hope the question is clear, beta. Now do it.
मैम ए का आंसर 9.28 पिकोमीटर है क्या?
किसका बताया मानसी?
मैम ए का 9.28।
9.28 तो नहीं आएगा बेटा। बेटा इसमें तो आपको क्या निकालना है, लैम्डा डैश निकालना है ना।
मैम
तो लैम्डा डैश लैम्डा प्लस लैम्डा सी 1 माइनस कोस 5।
यस मैम, मैंने उल्टा कर दिया।
थोड़ी सी
टेन
कहीं पर
पॉइंट
एरर हुआ।
सेवन वन
यस यस
पिकोमीटर आ रहा
एब्सोल्युटली
है।
राइट। हाँ मीनू बिल्कुल सही बेटा, 10.71 पिकोमीटर। द आंसर ऑफ ए इज, आपको लैम्डा सी पता ही है बेटा, यू नीड नॉट कैलकुलेट लैम्डा सी, यू नो इट 2.426 पिकोमीटर। फाई आपको 45 दिया हुआ है, cos 5 cos 45 डिग्री 1/√2 विच इज 0.707। और लैम्डा आपको दिया गया है 10 पिकोमीटर। इंसिडेंट वेवलेंथ आपको दी गई है 10 पिकोमीटर। एक्सरेज ऑफ वेवलेंथ 10 पिकोमीटर मतलब सेम फोटोज ऑफ वेवलेंथ 10 पिकोमीटर। तो द आंसर ऑफ फर्स्ट वुड बी ए पार्ट जो है, आपको लैम्डा डैश निकालना है विच इज लैम्डा प्लस लैम्डा सी 1 माइनस cos 5। You are given phi is equal to 45 degree, lambda is equal to 10 picometer, lambda c आपको पता ही है 2.426 picometer। So everything is known to you, you just put the formula cos 45 degree is 1/√2।
मैम बी का।
b का आप बताओ बेटा,
मैम 14.85।
किसने आंसर किया है?
मैम मानसी।
एब्सोल्युटली राइट मानसी।
मैम
Great।
यही आ रहा है 14.8252 पिकोमीटर।
हाँ हाँ कुछ भी उसको 14.8 समथिंग ना। वेरी नाइस मीनू, आपका भी आ गया।
यस
ग्रेट,
मैम।
बोथ ऑफ यू वेरी नाइस। गरिमा
यस मैम।
आपका नहीं आया बेटा अभी तक?
मैम आ गया।
ओके सी निकालिए। और बेटा आप फीडबैक फॉर्म भर दीजिए। फीडबैक फॉर्म आई डोंट नो आप लोगों ने भरा है या नहीं भरा है। फिल द फीडबैक फॉर्म। सी में हल्का सा आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कि आपको कौन सी वैल्यू पुट करनी है। रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट, फीडबैक फॉर्म कंप्लीटली एनोनिमस होता है। नोबडी कैन एवर नो कि किस स्टूडेंट ने फीडबैक भरा है। टॉपिक समझ में आ गया बेटा अच्छे से? बिल्कुल
यस मैम।
यस मैम।
बिल्कुल क्लियर हो गया। एनी कोई डाउट तो नहीं किसी डेरिवेशन में या किसी भी समझने में?
नो मैम।
चलिए अब लेटर सी, सी कौन निकाल रहा है भाई पहले? टेक योर टाइम, चेक करके ही मुझे आंसर बताना. फर्स्ट टाइम आई वांट द राइट आंसर.
मैम मेरा आंसर आया है.
क्या है बेटा? आई डेंट. मीनू बोलो दोबारा बेटा.
मैम 0.6460 into 10⁻⁻³ जूल.
10 to the power
यस मैम.
-38, 38.
यस मैम.
नो 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 मीनू, चेक करो बेटा.
मैम मैम
बहुत
मेरा
ज्यादा एरर है, छोटा मोटा एरर नहीं है. अब पावर में. हाँ बोलो मानसी.
मैम 6.467 into 10⁻⁻27.
कहाँ गड़बड़ कर रहे हो? फिगर तो ऑलमोस्ट ठीक है, पर ये पावर तो बहुत बहुत ज्यादा गलत है. वो पिको मीटर को मीटर में कन्वर्ट किया है या पिको ही रहने दिया है?
मैम पिको ही
मैम
है।
-14 आएगा 10⁻⁻.
आपने पहले 38 बोला था, दोबारा बोलो आंसर.
यस मैम. मैम वो ऊपर ले जाना होता है ना, 10⁻⁻12 था नीचे, तो ऊपर ले गई तो पॉजिटिव में हो जाएगा. मैंने ऐड कर दिया था.
दोबारा बताओ, पूरा आंसर दोबारा बताओ.
मैम 0.646 into 10⁻⁻14 जूल.
राइट. अब ये ठीक है. आंसर इज 0 पॉइंट में नहीं देते, जनरली एक डिजिट जीरो से पहले रखते हैं. ठीक
ओके
है.
मैम.
तो इट विल बी रफली 6.5 into 10⁻⁻15 जूल्स.
यस मैम मेरा भी आ गया मैम, मैंने पिकोमीटर को चेंज
यस
नहीं
मैम.
किया था।
वो मुझे आपकी पावर देखते ही समझ आ गया था मानसी, क्योंकि आपका आगे का आंसर फिगर वर करेक्ट. तो यू सेड -27, तो आई न्यू इट कि आपने पीको का जो 12 है 10⁻12, उससे आपने उसको ऊपर नहीं ले गए और उसको कैंसिल आउट नहीं किया.
यस मैम।
दैट इज व्हाई आई स्ट्रेटवे सेड कि आपने पीको का क्या किया है. ओके. सो गुड, ग्रेट बेटा. और सो बट थोड़ा सा बी केयरफुल इन एग्जाम, क्योंकि एग्जाम में ये पॉइंट आउट करने वाला कोई नहीं होगा. आपने -27, मीनू एंड मानसी बोथ जो भी लिख दिया, फिर वही आंसर हो जाएगा फाइनल. ओके.
यस मैम। यस मैम।
तो जब भी
ओके
यूनिट्स दी
मैम.
होती है, बी केयरफुल कि सारी यूनिट्स को पहले हम रिड्यूस कर लें. ओके.
यस मैम.
Okay, beta. So we are through with this topic. Next topic we will be discussing in the next class would be your photoelectric effect, and pair production is just a 2 minutes topic, but photoelectric effect again is a very very important topic. आपके एग्जाम में से फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक या कॉम्पटन इफेक्ट अगर आपने पास्ट पेपर्स देखे भी होंगे तो दो में से एक के ऊपर तो 15 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है और दूसरे में से कभी न्यूमेरिकल आ जाता है. तो इन जनरली इस टॉपिक में से आपको 15 मार्क्स का पार्ट आएगा ही आएगा इन दो में से. सो विद दिस और नेक्स्ट क्लास में वी विल फिनिश अवर दिस फिफ्थ यूनिट भी हमारी खत्म हो जाएगी. फिर सिर्फ एक लास्ट यूनिट रह जाएगी मेरी आपके साथ विच इज पार्टिकल फिजिक्स. ओके
ओके मैम.
फाइन. मतलब आई विल बी ऑलमोस्ट थ्रू विद माय 5 यूनिट्स. आई हैव टू डू 6 यूनिट्स. तो 5 यूनिट्स आपकी आई विल ट्राई टू फिनिश इन नेक्स्ट क्लास. और आपको किसी भी यूनिट में कहीं पर भी कुछ भी डाउट हो तो एनी टाइम बेटा फील फ्री टू कॉन्टैक्ट मी.
ओके मैम.
Okay? And do fill in the form. Okay, beta. Then we will discuss photoelectric effect in the next session.